Yeah, I guess it's frustrating, but I think we should know how we're gonna come out, and more often. I mean, I think sometimes we dig ourselves in a hole, and then, as you can see, halfway through the third and the fourth quarter, we play a lot faster. We lock in defensively. We do what we need to do, and by then, a couple of the guys on that team, they feeling good about themselves. So some of those possessions where we flying around, we doing all the right things, but we get an unlucky bounce and they get a shot to go in. It just, I think that's just a product of it being too easy in the first half. So I think more often than not, trying to put those, that last quarter and a half, trying to stretch that out for longer stretches throughout the game, will help us and be more beneficial throughout.
23 turnovers for you guys tonight. I think you had 6. What is there? Was that just you guys with mistakes, or was there defensive pressure at all impacting that much?
Yeah, I think myself included. I think that's on us. We got to be tougher and take care of the ball. I think in a lot of areas we beat ourselves, and especially in that area, they play well, they hit shots, but 23 turnovers, that's unacceptable.
Jayson, are you guys dealing with some mental fatigue?
I'm not. I don't think so, but I can't speak for everybody. I mean, it's a long season. Some days are better than others, and I think that's just life. I'm sure you guys have better work days than some other days, and whatever factors into that. This is our job, and every day isn't perfect. So I'm sure people who have different jobs who could probably relate that. Some days it's just like and some days you feel better about yourself.
What did spark the turnaround in the third quarter?
I don't know. Realizing we ain't had that much time left, and we just had to figure it out. We start picking up the pressure and getting some turnovers, speeding them up, and that led to us getting stops and playing faster.
Is it important to remind yourselves what happens when you play that way?
Is it important? Yeah. Yeah, it is.
But it seemed like there were multiple times in the game where you guys looked like you were down and out, but came back. I guess what does that kind of say about the resiliency in the second half?
I don't know what it looked like, but myself and the guys that was on the floor, we always felt like we had a chance. To the buzzer go off.
Jayson, you talked about earlier guys getting confidence. Brad in Boston, his career high was 10 points. He scores 18 in the second. Is that a defensive slippage? Is that just a dude getting hot? I mean, how does that happen when they don't have Paul George, but this guy steps up and it seems to just he's hitting everything?
Yeah, I think sometimes people, that don't necessarily play basketball, they think that when their best player is out, that it should be an easy win. But I think a lot of times, I think that's when you really got to focus and lock in, because guys that if Paul George was playing, he probably wouldn't have played that many minutes or gotten that opportunity. And on any given night, when certain guys are out and other guys get their number called, it can be nights like this where they get that chance, and you got to play to what guys are capable of, and not necessarily what they average or what their career high is, and knowing that certain guys just don't get that opportunity. But they make the most out of it when they do, and we got to be more mindful of games and situations like that.
Is it a little frustrating when you guys do play that fourth quarter? The shutdown defense, they can barely get the ball off the court at times. and you kind of realize why you guys can't play like that all the time?
Is it frustrating? Yeah. Yeah, it is frustrating, and part of it, I guess, human nature, and tendencies and habits, and I guess how you approach certain things. And I think the easy answer was just we gotta be better. We gotta be better at that, and I think you guys know and we know that if we play like we did in the fourth quarter, if we played like that the whole game, that the outcome probably would have been different. It's one thing to say it, it's one thing to know it, but it's a difference going out there and doing it. And I think that's on myself and all of us to just try to be more complete throughout 48 minutes.
Jayson, got a Zoom question here from John Corrales, please.
I mean, this falls along the same line of what you were just saying, but you brought up the analogy of everybody has bad days, which is absolutely true. But when people's bad days all start to look the same, then the perception is that this is kind of just who you are, and it's part of the habit. So what to you makes it this one of a bad day versus something that's just in the team's nature?
I think when Abby asked the question, she said guys are mentally fatigued, and I don't know if was that just about today or recently.
I feel like recently.
Recently.
On this trip a little bit.
On this trip. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but the Utah game we played really well. They hit 28 threes, 29 threes. We scored more than enough points. We fought to the end. Long travel day, back-to-back, beat Portland. Obviously, we had a few days off, and should have been more beat, should have got up a little bit more for the Lakers and Celtics game. We didn't, and came out today, played a good half of basketball and not two halves. So I think recently, today and yesterday, I guess they can kind of fall under the same, however you want to phrase it. I don't think that necessarily applies to the Utah and Portland game. I think we played really well. We won one. The other one came down to the wire, and we felt good about ourselves afterwards. I mean, there's no moral victories out here, but it's been two subpar, I guess, games you could call it. I think three has to be a bad habit. So we got to bounce back and play better Friday, and then, we can revisit this question.
Brought to you by your New England Ford dealers, celebrating their Get Holiday Ready sales event.